Celebration! Celebration! Celebration for the ordination of the congregation, of the delineation, of the investigation of goat versus fish. We welcome you, our dear congregation, to the church of the temple of goat versus fish. On this, celebration on this goat versus fish Thursday, a special bonus temple versus. We have a special, very, very, very special celebrational guest here in the church of Goat versus Fish, a long member of the congregation who has known Goat versus Fish for many, many, many verses. A resident academic and musician maker, De La Rosa. Celebration for De La Rosa.
I'm a fish, by the way.
Celebration for fish, celebration for fish, celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. And joining us in this verses is our musician maestro, master, and vessel of Goat versus Fish. We, of course, we're just going deeper into the sea. We're deeper into the sea of the fish. Deeper into the sea of the fish. Oh, but wait. Goat versus fish. Goat. We just adjust the. Oh wait, no, it's too far. No, it's here. We just go. Yes, that there. Goat versus fish. Here's the verses. Here's the verses. Goat versus fish. It's sunshine. Celebration for sunshine.
Hello.
Sunshine, welcome back to the Church of Goat versus Fish.
Hello. Welcome me back to Church of the Goat versus Fish.
Appreciation. Now the camera operating device of Goat versus Fish is insisting that we are connected to the phone, which is obscuring our ability to issue verses for it to do things to Goat versus Fish. Yes, we know we're connected. We're all connected through the power of Goat versus Fish. We're all connected through Goat versus Fish. Okay, we'll just have to keep on versing. We'll just have to keep on versing. Celebration. Celebration!
Yay!
Welcome, Doobie Snacks, BBDH 187. Wow, Mom, is Sunshine goat or fish? Is Sunshine goat or fish?
As of today, I am fish.
Celebration for fish, celebration for fish.
Celebration for fish.
Celebrate that fish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Celebration.
In the beginning, there was Goat versus Fish, the goat fish. And Goat versus Fish said that there should be goat and that there should be fish. There is no alpha or omega. There is no black or white. There is no good or evil. There is only goat and fish and Goat versus Fish. You have many questions, yes. Who is Goat versus Fish? What is Goat versus Fish? Why is Goat versus Fish? But there is only one question. After which there will be much celebratory musications in celebration of the one true question that inspires great thought and ponderings in all of us. But there is only one question. Are you goat or are you fish? Oh, wait, the verses. We do goat versus fish. Are you goat or are you fish? And now, your morning meditation with Goat vs. Fish. Many of you have intrusive, fancy thoughts poking into your ponderings. Now it is time to clear your mind of all those things and to remember only Goat versus Fish. Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Now invitation, Sunshine, and De La Rosa to chant Goat versus Fish with Goat versus Fish. Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish. Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish. Celebration, celebration. And now, transitional musications as we set down this mighty meditation bowl of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish speaks now. And you may continue, continue ambient verses. Goat versus Fish goes now to the congregation, goes now to you, the congregation of Goat versus Fish. It is time to ask the one true question to all of the congregation who joined Goat versus Fish, who joined Goat versus Fish. Even the fence sitter who stares mouth agape in awe and frustration at Goat versus Fish. You, Goat versus Fish, is speaking directly to you. Some of you may be watching this Church of Goat versus Fish stream and thinking it is but a dream. It is but a dream. Goat versus Fish is but a dream. As you rise from your mid-waking slumber, the fenciness of the world to encumber. A wave of emotions fill your ponderings. Those who are new to Goat vs. Fish upon gazing at the one true verses. Curiosity, fear, joy, anger, frustration. These are all verses you may feel when encountering goat, when encountering fish, and when encountering the fence sitter. Some of you may be on the fence in this very congregation. You are welcome to Goat vs. Fish. You are welcome to the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. We merely ask you to choose goat or fish, to follow Goat vs. Fish, and to spread the verses of Goat vs. Fish. Do this, and one verse is not far from now. The universe shall have all decided between goat and fish. You, dear congregation, you are the chosen, because you have chosen goat or fish. You are the decided, because you have decided between goat and fish. The decided congregation of Goat vs. Fish. Be among the chosen, be among the decided. As the fence sitter on their fences rided, the goat and fish were decided. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish, dear congregation? Goat. Shout out goat in the congregation if you are goat, and fish in the congregation if you are fish. Doobie Snacks, Wow Mom, Lysergic Freak, BBD827 J Sticks, and Lysergic Freak Fish has declared fish. That's a celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. J-Sticks for goat, celebration for goat, celebration for J-Sticks, goat. Welcome to the congregation to Goat vs. Fish. BBD8187 is fish, thanks for asking. Thank you for answering Goat vs. Fish. BBD8187 the fish, celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Psychic Buckeye goat, celebration for goat. For the psychic goat. Wow Mom goat, celebration, wow Mom goat. Ooh, changing the vibes up on Goat vs. Fish, nice verses. TML81 with the fish, with a powerful fish indeed. Doobie Snacks with the goat, that is 4 goat and 2 fish. Bayonin 420 with the smoked fish, celebration for fish. Celebration for fish, celebration for fish. And now, hydration. Hydration. Celebration for the hydration, for the necessary hydration for all goat and fish. We now drink of the hydration of the sea of the fish. In celebration of our health and hydration. Celebration for fish, celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Sunshine, yes, you You have something to versus to the congregation?
Hello,
Hello.
I am Fish,
Celebration for fish, celebration for fish.
and I'm celebrating fish as opposed to goat. If you're a goat, I encourage you to celebrate fish. It's opposites day, so that means that goats should celebrate fish, and fish should celebrate fish.
If it's opposite day and we disagree with you and say, no, it's not, does that mean we're affirming you and saying that, yes, it is?
No means yes, but don't quote me on that.
Wait, so you want us to quote you on that?
Only if I say yes.
Only if you say yes.
Celebration!
Goat versus fish will now preparation the ceremonial consumption of warm tortillas in the name of goat. For when we rise to the temple of goat versus fish, we enjoy the libations and hydrations of the fish and the consumption of goat. All those who attend the Church of Goat versus Fish are entitled to hydration and nourishment. And the fence sitter, most of all, the fence sitter gets the greatest nourishment of all. The greatest nourishment of all is for you, fence creature. Is just watching Goat versus Fish and hearing Goat versus Fish over and over and over again. What greater nourishment could there be? What greater nourishment could there be? Asks Goat versus Fish. What about you? What about you? What about egg and toast? Wow. Egg and toast is here in the congregation. Make some noise for egg and toast. Egg and toast is here. Yes. But you don't need that egg and toast, do you, Senor Tomat? You are just satisfied to hear about the one true verses of Goat versus Fish. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, cried the fence sitter. Oh, you will receive your libations and consumption once you have demonstration your commitment to the service of Goat versus Fish by watching a 2-hour live stream of Goat versus Fish, and then you will not be denied your bodily whatever you need to just stay hungry, fence sitter. Stay hungry for the verses. Stay hungry for the verses. And now preparation of warm tortillas for Goat versus Fish. And in celebration of the preparation of the warm tortillas of Goat versus Fish, how about we... Oh, my verses. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. New split verses. In preparation of the warm tortillas of Goat versus Fish, let's get something with a flair of cabra contra pez.
Oh. Just made a guitar.
Tortillas in a cup. Tortillas. Let the tortillas fill your cup. Your cup runneth over with maize. Through the maze and the distant haze of the verses, you find your nourishment on Goat vs. Fish. Oh, what's that? Oh, wait, hold the verse. Hold the verses.
I'm break fasting.
You're break fasting.
Yeah.
So because it's opposite verses for you, that means you're fasting.
Oh yeah, that means I'm fasting today.
Oh, you're fasting today.
Yes.
So we offer you the nourishment of Goat vs. Fish. You do acknowledge that you have been offered the nourishment.
I've been offered the nourishment, and I've acknowledged that the nourishment is goat.
Oh, it's goat nourishment. Celebration for the nourishment of goat.
Celebration.
Celebration, the ceremonial consumption of Goat vs. Fish begins. Begins now.
Nom 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 nom. I didn't know we were doing corn tortilla shotguns today.
Celebration.
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 That was delicious.
Delicious verses. But wait! The fence sitter cries out, Can I please have that spare tortilla that Sunshine does not want, please? Can I please? I want it. I'm hungry. I hunger for tortillas. You will have your snacks after you have endured the service of Goat vs. Fish. Celebration. Hi-Fi Protege. Welcome to the congregation, the virtual congregation. Hi-Fi Protege, why don't you come by the Temple of Goat vs. Fish and show our guest, De La Rosa, just how incredibly weird you are. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Exclamation guest in the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. Exclamation guest in the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. To follow on SoundCloud our guest, to follow our guest this verse is De La Rosa.
Thank you.
Always thank Goat vs. Fish, also known to the congregation as Pen and Rose, Goat vs. Fish now, invitation, De La Rosa, to deliver a guest sermonization to the congregation. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to say your verses?
I am prepared.
Celebration. Come, join Goat vs. Fish. Join Goat vs. Fish. Behold here. Coming now to speak before the congregation, please welcome De La Rosa.
Hello, yes. Hello. Welcome to me and welcome to everyone else in this time and place, in this very special moment in time where we come together to celebrate Goat vs. Fish. I have known Goat vs. Fish for a very long time. In fact, I remember even back in grade school, we used to have a roll call in school, and I'd never seen Goat vs. Fish before. It was his first day, and I thought it was a little strange that he had a towel on, and he had some, it was more of it was like a princely crown back then. It hadn't reached its full majesty, but it clearly was somebody of importance, right? And I had questions of Goat vs. Fish. I mean, everybody does, but the first I learned of Goat vs. Fish is when they were calling out roll call, and they were like, oh, Sandy, whatever. And it's like, all right, is goat versus fish? Goat versus fish? Right? It's like, here! And I turned around, and there he was, just sitting there, completely firm in his conviction that he was Goat versus Fish. And I mean, I'd never seen anything like it in my life. And I knew at that moment that this man, this child at the time, had some kind of knowledge or wisdom that I wanted to know. But it took me many years to get ready. Many years to come to understand that I myself was a fish. The thing about being a fish, is that if you're going to verse the goat, you have to know the goat. You have to respect the goat. And there's there's sort of an idea where it's like, well, I don't want to get involved with goatliness because I want to sort of maintain the purity of being a fish. But of course, it is goat versus fish. It's not fish versus fish. It's not fish. It's not goat fish. There's only one goat fish. It's goat versus fish. And so if you're going to be a fish, you must set yourself against the goat. But, it's like two training partners, sharpening each other's skills and wits as they get after each other. I mean, fish cannot exist without goat. Who would fish verse without the goat? So, right. One needs the goat. One needs the goat more than, the goat is indispensable as the fish, even if you wish to be fish. So these sort of weird contradictions were things that I realized, like goat versus fish had this knowledge. And it took me a long time to kind of come around to it. But eventually, I sort of moved on from high school. I went into academia, and I started up a sort of a philosophy degree. But this goat versus fish stuff just stuck with me the entire time that I was there. And, I was sitting there and they were reading like Kant and, Hegel and stuff. And it just was like, it was just dead words on the page to me compared to the living doctrine of goat versus fish that was just burning in my soul at every moment. And these words on the page and these dead philosophers with their highfalutin ideas, but they don't know anything about goat versus fish. There's nothing about goats or fish in like a critique of pure reason that I could find. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the greatest. I may have dozed off a little bit in some of the sections, but it's just like, okay, Kant, so, there's this kind of principle and that kind of principle, but which one is goat and which one is fish? I mean, you got to give me something to work with here. So I moved on my career, and I tried to sort of get my professors to come around to this idea that there was a philosopher alive this very day that was more relevant than all of these fusty old academics. But regrettably, they did not see eye to eye with me. They did not appreciate. Indeed, they didn't understand. The simple, immediately graspable nature of goat versus fish. They wanted things to be complicated. They wanted some kind of excuse to have an entire department around ideas about life when the whole thing could literally just be replaced with a statue with a question emblazoned on it. Are you goats or are you fish? So I would make the argument that would obsolete any philosophy department at any university. You could save yourself millions of dollars on faculty salaries, and they could go get real jobs because the problem has been solved. That's why we're here today. You don't have to search anymore. You found it. By some miracle, you're watching it right now. Few elect, but eventually it will get more understood around the world, and people will know that goat versus fish is for real, and it's alive, and it's in you right now. Because, if you're a goat or are you fish, all things are goat or fish. So, I mean, what else do you really need to know? Yeah, so they expelled me, but I mean, it was a rightful expellation because I didn't belong there anyway. I took my fringe theories and I took them outside of traditional academia, and I tried to float them around a little bit and get people to understand that there was indeed a place for a scholarship of goat versus fish. Now, not to the extent of a philosophy department. In fact, the great beauty of it is that any person, any goat or fish can participate, can sit down and have these kinds of discussions without having to ask an expert. Because, I mean, there's not really an expert, there's just a source, right? Goat versus fish. But I guess if you could say there was such a thing as an expert or something like it, then at least I have a few credentials in that regard. So, I mean, if you have questions about the nature of goat versus fish, or questions about, how goat versus fish kind of got to where he is from my perspective, I'm happy to answer that.
Congregation, the verses is now open. The congregation is now open to all goat and fish. Academic and musician De La Rosa is here to answer your ponderings, your philosophications about goat versus fish. You may even ask about the early schooling of goat versus fish. You may ask about the long tenure that this very distinguished fish has known in what capacity of goat versus fish. And they will tell you the true verses. They'll tell you the true verses.
Yes.
What was goat versus fish like 30 years ago when goat versus fish was billions and billions of eons old, but 30 years less than that, though. Now you can know, now you can know, now you can know, or you can just watch in your infinite ponderings and just be like, what's that guy talking about? That's okay too. You can do that too. You can also listen to the sick grooves of Sunshine over here.
You have options.
It's like 3 streams in one. It's all the fun. It's all the verses. You get the whole verses. You get the whole verses here with Goat vs. Fish.
It's incredibly efficient. A young goat versus fish, I always noticed that he did have a penchant for musications. Musications were always a very important part of Goat versus Fish, and we often shared old musications back in the day. In fact, Goat versus Fish and I met over a particular musication one time on a class trip. I was playing on the piano, much as I was now, and I had enticed Goat vs. Fish with a specific tune that he also knew. And it was sort of interesting because I'd seen Goat vs. Fish, and I wanted to get to know Goat vs. Fish, but I could never find, like, an in. I could never find the way to kind of get him to come to me as a person. I mean, he was always kind of aloof, right? I would just be like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, are you goat or are you fish?
That sounds like Goat vs. Fish.
And I'd be like, no, man, I'm fish, but he'd already, like, move on, right? He was very much in like, mission mode at that point. But this was one time where, you know, kind of like, I caught his attention. I caught something out of his eye. He came over, and that's when I sort of got to talk to Goat vs. Fish more in, like, I don't know, a personal mode. He took off the crown for just a moment, and we had sort of a chat. And that was when I kind of got to know Goat vs. Fish on a personal level. So, you know, and musication's always just been a huge part of everything that he's done here.
BBDH187 asks, did young Goat vs. Fish wear a crown in the early years?
So technically, the dress code did not allow a full crown. However, like a smaller kind of like princely reagent, you know, I don't know what like the masculine equivalent of tiara is. I'm sure there's like a word for it. He did have something like that. And rather than like the full-sized, you know, chunky things that he has now, they were just kind of like little baby, you know. I mean, you can use your imagination. So the answer is sort of yes, but it was not the mighty regal adornment that he has at this current time. That was a later addition. I don't know the story of exactly how that came about, to be honest.
Hi-Fi Protege asks, when Goat vs. Fish was born, did he have a full beard and a towel? You've known Goat vs. Fish along verses, but we don't know if you were there for the metaphorical birth of Goat vs. Fish.
Right. I mean, the thing is, like, in every real sense, the answer is simply yes.
It has been known, it has been observed in the earliest verses that you observed Goat vs. Fish. There was a beard of Goat vs. Fish.
That's true. And
the beard of Goat vs. Fish was very precocious, it is said. Is this a true verses?
Yes. So, I mean, if you were asking me that question philosophically, like, yes, the answer is yes. When Goat vs. Fish was born, yes, of course he had a full beard and towel. That was the, you know, it sprung forth fully conceived from the mind of God kind of thing.
Oh, do you know about the mind of God? How fascinating.
Well, maybe it... That's my signal there. Sorry. Yes, the mind of God. Well, no, I don't know about the mind of God. I just assume that, you know, this sprung, like, you know, Goat vs. Fish was complete. Like, there was no time where Goat vs. Fish was not whole. But at the same time, it's like, in meat time, it had to start somewhere. I don't really know how to explain it.
Well, that musication you speak of, if this were some sort of late-night comedic defunct, no longer relevant talk show format, then Goat vs. Fish would accept that as an in to say, hey, why don't you play that song that brought you and Goat vs. Fish close together? How would you feel about that? Revisiting the old verses, going back to the beginning of your verses with Goat vs. Fish, and regaling us with with this tune. Do you think you could manage that versus?
I can try. I mean, there's no harm in trying.
Celebration, celebration! Celebration now! De La Rosa will attempt a recreation, a faithful and faithless recreation of the musication that brought together Goat vs. Fish and De La Rosa.
This was like an F. It was like a G flat. It was like a. Anyway, let me try again. Bum, 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 bum,
We believe in you. We believe in you.
It's like we've tried every chord and none of them are right. Okay. Anyway, it was in fact the Ultros theme from the game Final Fantasy 3 or 6. By Nobuo Uematsu, the Chad master of all video game music. Just throwing that out there.
What do video games mean to you?
To me?
Oh, yes.
Oh. Well, video games to me mean a whole lot, I guess. It's one of my favorite ways to experience stories, to experience and to have like shared experiences with people. Particularly the music has always really spoken to me. I do write music, and in a certain sense, video game music is kind of like my origin story, because just growing up with that kind of music and it's really hard to describe just how hard they brought the thunder on these old consoles. Like, they had such limited musical, they had 8-bit machines. They had 4 instruments, different kind of waves. And if you listen to, I don't know, say an old Nintendo, a Mega Man track, it is you could just take that and drop it onto regular instruments and it would immediately be just an incredibly jamming rock song or whatever. They maxed on all that stuff. And so for some reason, even though, it's you could hear rock with an actual guitar, I was actually more attracted to these little beeps and boops, because it was just, I don't know, something about me, I guess. And it's just and also because it's sort of a prompt to imagination. One of the reasons I like music and writing music is a prompt to imagination. And because everything was so low fidelity, your little dude was maybe 8 pixels high, the music had to do a lot of heavy lifting. Nowadays everything is so detailed, they can just do an ambient soundtrack and nobody really cares. But that would never have worked back in the day. If you didn't have a driving track to move the level, it would be boring. They had to do more with less, and I just find that to be such a fascinating thing to see.
Hi-Fi Protege says, thank you for the birthday wishes. Hi-Fi Protege, is it your verse day today? Is it your verse day celebration today? And if so, why not start by coming to the congregation of Goat vs. Fish, where we will enjoy a glorious celebration, Hi-Fi. You may do as you wish. You may do as you wish. We wish one more verses from you. We wish a million more verses, of course. We wish you to... Earlier, you were speaking to the fence sitter. You were calling upon the fence sitter to choose goat or fish. And we thought that that would be a mighty fine versus. As a matter of Goat versus Fish Sunshine, if you could bring some very dramatic verses to accompany the admonition of the fence sitter that is to be provided by our dear De La Rosa, we think that would be a very fine verses. Do you assent to this?
Yes, I extend to this.
Celebration! The sermonization continues with De La Rosa. Fence sitters beware! Are you allowed to be fence today? Asks Sci-Fi Protege on their verse day. Well, let's find out. Let's find out together.
Ah, yes, the fence sitter. The fence sitter. The one who decides not to choose. Of course, it is your choice not to choose. You can hesitate as long as you like. You can waffle all you care to do. But in the end, the fence sitter lacks one thing. He lacks conviction. And a person without conviction is like a fish without the sea, or a goat without the land. What is the measure of a man? Is it his beliefs? Is it what he says? Or is it what he chooses to do? Right? A choice is made. I have some sympathy for the fence sitters. I was an academic after all. And you do tend to get yourself up into a nice little corner. But unfortunately, this is not the way of the world. It takes courage to break through to a true understanding. And you have to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. A lack of commitment. So, I simply ask you, fence sitter, why are you afraid to choose? You do know that you can change your mind at any time, right? Maybe you're a goat today, maybe you're a fish tomorrow. I mean, only you can decide whether you're goat or fish. Goat versus fish is not trying to trap you or trick you or make you agree to something that you don't want to agree to. That would defeat the entire purpose. In fact, I heard there was a rather suspicious fellow named Bird versus Bear that had different ideas. Has very different ideas about freedom and choosing. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe there's just tiny little bit of romance in the fence sitter where it's like, oh, but like, once I choose, once I make that choice, I'll forever be the one who's chosen. You can never get back on the fence. I think maybe that's the best lesson of all, right? When you really get off the fence, when you pull that pointy white picket out of your ass, you'll never want to go back up there again. It's good. It's good down here. It's good down here in the water. It's cool. It's refreshing. There are other fish. I look up on the fence and I just see loneliness. I see, a desire to hold yourself apart. A desire to make yourself distinct. But unfortunately, no one will appreciate you up there on the fence. They're all too busy living their lives down here, versing on the land and in the sea. But I fear that the fence sitters will always be with us. It's just how it is. So, I would encourage you to have some sympathy for the fence sitter. For in some ways, aren't we all fence sitters in life? There's always something about which we're hesitant, something that we don't know, we're not sure, right? We're not sure about any of these things. But if we are patient, if we listen deep inside, if we ask ourselves this question over and over again, and we quiet ourselves, at some point, that answer will just come up. It will just rise up in you as naturally as anything else, as breathing, as sleeping, eating, talking, just another thing that rises up, right? Oh, I guess I'm a fish. You know.
Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. You witnessed Goat versus Fish out at a little versus called the Booby Trap.
Yes.
Yes, sir, versus.
That is true.
Tell the congregation what you witnessed and how you witnessed the congregation gathered at the Booby Trap LA and how they received Goat versus Fish. And what was it like? As we ask question on top of question, and you have to remember them all. To witness your old versus Goat versus Fish up there on the stage and bringing the celebrations.
Yes, it was truly a culmination of many years. So it's Goat versus Fish started out in the style of Goat versus Fish. Now, Goat versus Fish only had a very short amount of time, and so he had to work with alacrity. And indeed, within moments, he had people clapping along and singing along with the Goat versus Fish. He asked the question to the people, and they responded readily, vocally.
Kraz Club raids the congregation of Goat versus Fish, bringing 12 glorious goat and fish into the congregation of Goat versus Fish. Celebration!
Welcome all.
Glorious Kraz Club, welcome to Goat versus Fish.
Welcome.
Vector Echo 21 says Kraz abuses me, will be abused no longer. Here in the Church of Goat versus Fish, we will disabuse you of your false verses as we invitation you into the congregation celebration. Will you do us the honor, O De La Rosa, of asking the Kraz Club Raiders the one true question?
Kraz Club Raiders, are you goat or are you fish?
Celebration! With us also here is Sunshine, exclamation S-A-N, to follow your musication master, Sunshine. And now back to the glorious and mighty De La Rosa, who was regaling you with the story of Goat versus Fish at the Booby Trap. Yes. So they were chanting along and singing Goat versus Fish within mere moments of witnessing Goat versus Fish.
Yes, it was a standing party, and people were very, very just. Jace, they were taken by the entire experience. Within 4 minutes, people were standing up and singing the Goat versus Fish hymn, and it was only cut off because the time was run out. But I am absolutely certain that if the time had continued, we would have been there all night singing the hymn of Goat versus Fish. I think that pretty much goes without saying. So, I mean, if anybody, if Goat versus Fish does not trap anyone, but if it were so, I would say he would trapped all of those people last night into a celebration of Goat versus Fish.
Well, it was the Booby Trap. Perhaps the trap was Goat versus Fish all along.
Perhaps so.
The trap was the Goat versus Fish all along. Appreciation for this information. We now invitation Sunshine to the congregation to give us a sermonization. Sunshine, are you feeling the verses? Do you feel the verses within you?
Yes, I feel the verses, and the verses I felt inside of me.
Celebration, come then to Goat versus Fish, unless you wish to accompany yourself. But of course, you can now trade verses, and now De La Rosa can accompany you on the verses.
Hello.
Goat and fish, it's sunshine celebration.
Hello. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, congregationers, to the fine Sunshine Division of the Morning Motivational Temple Stream featuring Chris and GoatVsFish. And I want to tell you guys that today I am fish and my allegiance can be bought. Okay?
Wow, celebration. What an announcement on GoatVsFish.
My allegiance can be bought, okay? I am what's the delicate word for this? I'm trying to find a delicate word to describe what those who can be bought for are called. But since I'm expected beyond good behavior on today's verses, I will refrain from using such terminology.
What,
and insist.
mercenary?
Huh?
Mercenary?
Oh, no, not mercenary. It's something a lot more naughty and graphic. But since we are on today's verses, we will keep it clean for the time being. And that's why I'm here to advocate for fish. But once again, I remind you, my allegiance can be bought, okay?
Celebration for the entrepreneurial verses of fish.
Yes, because now DoorDash has decided to put a $20 surcharge on deep dish pizzas. So at this point in my very existence, I've come to find new ways to get the extra $20, and that might be in the form of swapping allegiances between goat and fish.
So what's the price? What's the price of fish? What's the price of goat going for these verses?
Or
do you leave that to the congregation's imagination?
I mean, I would have given a price, but now with the RAM prices and SSD prices and surcharges going up, and now my butcher shop and the sour candy store I frequent on a daily basis, I started asking for tips on their iPads. So now it's all varied, but I would say at least to cover the $20 surcharge, I would say about 50 verse American dollars for me to switch to goat. And
50 verse American dollars for fish to become goat. 50 for fish to become goat.
But on the condition that I keep the fish hat, because the fish hat has become like a reminder of my roots, despite my being in a goat country. I'm a fish at heart. Even though I may be 8,000 miles away from the fish verses that be in Sri Lanka, I have now come to find that the goat verses of America is a nice. It's a nice place. It has a few quirks here and there, but overall it is a very nice verses. So so where was I? Yes, deep dish pizza is expensive now. Please buy my allegiance. I'll be whatever you want me to be, baby. I mean, a goat. Okay. All right. So with that, celebration. Celebration.
Can they pay you 50 verse American dollars to stay fish and resist the call of goat?
Ooh.
Can they pay you 50 to secure your fishness against any payments of goat to bribe you to the other verses?
What happens if goat and fish pay me 50 at the same time? Will there be a stalemate between the verses?
At the exact same verses?
At the exact same
At the exact same verses.
Then we'll need Hi-Fi to come here in person.
Well, let's ask
to tell a love story.
Let's ask our academic philosopher what would happen. Let us suppose, in a hypothetical verses, that there is a fish who has called upon the congregation and said, my allegiance can be purchased, and for 50 verse American dollars, I will either remain steadfast in fish or I will change to goat. And in the normal verses, whomever did pay first would be given precedent. But in this hypothetical verses, at the exact same verses of goat versus fish, 50 verse American dollars come in for the allegiance of both goat and fish at the same verses with no method of delineation between the two. According to your studies and philosophications, what is the verses now? What is the verses?
Okay, this is a little bit tricky, but this is how I would look at it. So to choose, right, is to make a change, right? Like so if you are already a fish, right, and you are in a situation where you are forced to both remain fish and to choose goat, I would say that in that case, it actually defaults to goat because you've made a choice that differs from where you are now. And so the goat overrides the fish in that specific instance. But, I've heard others make other arguments.
What are those? What are those other arguments?
Well, there's
that fill the halls, the ivory halls of Towerland, of academic highfalutin tower place.
Well, there's a lesser known kind of side theory that's called like the permanence of choosing, where it's like, okay, while you can technically choose, like change your mind at any time, right? Having declared yourself fish, right? Then any declarations of fish will just like any declarations of goat accompanied by the state of being with fish is canceled out. So having declared fish, right? Unless the goat declaration is not accompanied by a nullifying like fish votes, in that case, then you'd say you would default to fish. I tend to be of the states that, again, because you're choosing, because it's an active choice, it defaults to a change of state. And so I would say that in that situation, although both people would have fairly paid their money, he would kind of have to be, in my mind, goat at that point, based on my understanding, which, of course, limited.
So that means that if I get 50 verse American dollars from fish, and I get 50 verse American dollars from goat, then the allegiance cancels out each other, and I'm left in a void. But despite being in the fancy void, I end up with 100 verse American dollars, which is enough for 5 deep dish pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a celebration. That would be a celebration indeed. What do you know? What do you know about deep dish pizza and goat versus fish?
I mean, first of all, I just need. Can you get deep dish pizza around here anywhere? Is that actually possible?
That's Geno's East in Sherman Oaks.
There's a Geno's East here?
In Sherman Oaks.
Because that Geno's is from Chicago, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's like actual. I mean, it's not one-to-one with the Chicago one, but like the franchise, the ingredients, and everything is there. And, they're like 95% the same.
That's pretty. I mean, that's great because I mean, I usually can maybe manage like a 75% of the way their pizza. Like, there's some places where I live.
Oh yeah.
Well, deep dish. I mean, it seems like ancient history. It's not nearly as ancient as school, but yes, Goat versus Fish and I. We used to live in the great city of Chicago for a time. And of course, Chicago is famous for many foods. Those standouts, including Italian beef, which is madness. If y'all don't know what that is, they just take like shredded, it's like it's steak, but it's sliced super thin.
And they dip it in the sauce.
Yeah, they dip it, the whole thing in au jus. They put hot or sweet peppers on it, and they just dunk it. It's amazing. It's a killer sandwich. It's Chicago OG. But the deep dish pizza is what we're talking about. So deep dish pizza is done dirty like everywhere that I could possibly think of. So many people think that pan pizza is a bloody deep dish pizza. It is not.
Versus.
It's not. Okay. Okay. First of all, I don't have anything against pan pizza. Okay. Pan pizza is still better than quote unquote Detroit style pizza, which is cheese bread. Okay. Tell me that it's not cheese bread. It is. Okay. Fight me. And again, I don't have anything against cheese bread. Just don't call it pizza because it's not. Now, deep dish pizza, like, you got to have, like, a pie crust or, like, a cracker crust. Better do pie. Like, Pizzeria Uno or Due, it has this super flaky golden crust. Whereas Giordano's, and I think Geno's probably has more of the cracker type, right? Like, the sort of flaky.
They put, like, a cornstarch kind of thing.
Yeah,
there.
But I just, people don't, like, they don't know. And even Chicagoites don't know. In fact, like, I read an article where some guy from Chicago was like, yeah, people in Chicago don't even go to, like, Uno and Due. I'm like, no, they do, though. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Illuminati's, Uno. Yeah, they all.
So, like, I won't argue with people that want to tell me that deep dish is also not really pizza. Like, there is an argument to be made for that. I'm not going to fight you on that. It's pretty crazy. It's a very, very far variation. But in terms of, like, delivering the pizza experience at maximum volume, deep dish like does that. It's just like, you know, a wave of sauce and cheese. But we used to go out quite often for deep dish pizza. We would take the local, public transportation, the L they called it, because it's elevated. You see, that's. And indeed, I mean, Chicago was a fantastic place to live. I'd love to go back there sometime. But we had quite a bit of deep dish pizza back in the day. And I mean, actually, one time, like, well, more than once, honestly, I'd be like, oh, it's like Saturday, and I'll just order like a deep dish pizza, and then I'll just have like one piece every day for like the next 3 days. It's just like this is food for 3 days. So if you're a fan of the flavors of pizza, but you just want like more of them all at once, then get deep dish pizza.
Wow Mom asks, does pizza pie equal Chicago style?
I mean,
this is certainly a question for an academic who has spent some of their verses studying the more esoteric, fancy questions that are not immediately grokkable as goat versus fish, but of course are inherently still the question of goat versus fish.
Absolutely.
Does pizza pie equal Chicago style? It does not seem to goat versus fish that it would, because they're not even spelled the same verses, so how could they be the same verses?
Yeah, the equals is doing a interesting work there. I mean, sort of, yes. I mean, a deep dish is way more of a pie than any actual pizza ever has been. But I do think it's really strange that it became like vernacular to call it a pizza pie, because it's not a pie in any way. So like in the most casual and vague sense, I would say, yeah, Chicago is a pizza pie. But specifically hitting up the flaky pie crust is actually, because that's the best kind. The cracker is still a cop-out in my mind. The best one is the Douai crust, which is like the golden flaky crust. I don't know why the other people can't be fucked to do it, but whatever.
In the verses of Pizzeria Uno and Pizzeria Douai, which one is the goat and which one's the fish? Because some say, they're the same verses, just in 2 locations. So, but surely there's a verses between Uno and Douai.
Yeah.
And some may even say, they prefer one to the other. They may say this.
Did we go to Douai every time? I'm not sure that we ever went to Uno, because Douai was just like the bigger, easier one to go to. Oh man, but which is which? Oh man, I'd have to kind of think about their locations. I went to Douai. Did I get a fish vibe or a goat vibe? Oh man, I don't know. I'm saying goat. I'm saying Douai is goat.
Celebration for goat!
Yeah.
Celebration for goat! Celebration for goat. If you wish to buy Sunshine's Allegiance ! Tip to make a contribution to Sunshine's goat or fish allegiance, is there any risk of fencery if one receives double the donation at the same verses? Is there any risk that this results in fencery?
I don't think you can get back on the fence. I don't think you can.
Whoever outdoes the other in donation, be it by $1 or $10, will win the allegiance.
Oh, also, wow, Mom, that hat you sent me, it was unfreaking believable.
This is a great hat.
It was amazing. The orange one that you made for me, it's the finest piece of headwear that I own now, and it's the only decent winter hat that I have. So I just thank you. That thing is phenomenal.
This has been a testimonialization. Sunshine, we wish to give you back the verses, to say whatever you wish, and then we wish to bring De La Rosa up for one more verses. One, to give a heartfelt testimonialization and recommendation about the fish hat that you're conveniently not wearing at this verses, but you can still talk about how great it is, and maybe Sunshine can loan you a fish hat, or we can get you one of the other fish hats as you speak about how great the fish hat is. Yes. On a provisional verses, perhaps.
I'd encourage you to smell my fish hat before deciding to wear it instead of after you wear it.
That's sensible.
Yeah.
We'll do that verses, and then we are going to ask you another surprise question that we think that our dearest congregation is just wishing to ask, but they don't even realize that they want to they want to ask it. But let us give the verses back with musication to Sunshine to continue the sermonization.
Celebration. So with that being said, do as you please, and there won't be any sunshine time this weekend. I'm planning to go to my uncle's in Glendale. However, Toto is playing in Long Beach.
The Toto?
Yeah, the Toto, and Christopher Cross is opening for them, so I'm pretty psyched. So I'm debating whether I should go stay at my uncle's at Glendale or whether I should see Toto for the 8th time. But they have Keith Carlott on drums, who's like Steely Dan's drummer, and he's a phenomenal drummer. And they have a whole new band. I mean, this might be 50th iteration of Toto, since the original members are mostly like they're in better places and various places at the same time. But there won't be any Sunshine Time this weekend. Next week, Sunshine Time will resume as usual. I might do a Musication stream. I might put Assassin's Creed Black Flag on hold for a bit and play some Clair Obscura Expedition 33. It is an emotionally involved versus. So I'll be playing for the first time, so if you guys want to see my reaction to it, I'll be playing those verses. Yes. The Toto reunion is indeed a 300-piece orchestra, but it's really 8 people. It's really 8 people who sound like a 300-piece orchestra. And Christopher Cross. Also, Herbie Hancock did the Hollywood Bowl next week, but we'll talk about that next week.
Wow.
Yes.
Celebration, celebration, celebration!
Celebration!
Exclamation SAN for sunshine. And now, with invitation, De La Rosa, take the verses.
Yes, so I just would like to mention again that the handmade, hand-knitted...
Wait to verses.
Verses.
Yes, can Sunshine, can De La Rosa at least be wielding the hat of the fish as they praise the hat of the fish? Now, De La Rosa, we know you. We have known you for long verses. We've known you for many verses.
Yes.
And we know that you can, of course, you can be this sort of, cautioned academic of, yes, let us speak of this hat. It is indeed a hat that I like. But we want the fire of De La Rosa. We want to hear that this fish hat is just the greatest hat in the universe, spoken in your own verses, without any trepidation, without any hesitation. Do your preparation. And now, De La Rosa will give a review and recommendation of the hat of Wow Mom.
So this type of hat, this handmade, bespoke, artisan crafted, incredible, fantastic, monumental human achievement that is known as the, super bespoke custom fish hat. Now, I'm going to need you to use your imagination because mine actually has, like, cool scales and shiny stuff on it. Like, you can get these done any kind of way. It's madness, okay? So not only do you get something that keeps your head, like, warm throughout the year, you get something that makes a statement about fish. So it's like if you're a fish, you're wearing a fish hat. If you're a goat, it's like, oh, the fish is versing me. Oh, no, there's a fish biting my goat head. Like, it's all there. The story is here. It's a story in a hat, okay? The stitching is of, like, the finest quality. I mean, you can't even send away to the Orient for this kind of thing anymore, man. This is globalization. This is bespoke here, okay? You can't get something like this, like, at any price, frankly. It's a steal at any price. I just think it's amazing. So this, great way to support the Church of Goat vs. Fish, great way to support independent artisans who make things by hand, God forbid. They're just fantastic. So I am totally in love with my hat. My kids were wearing it. I have adorable pictures with them all wearing it. This is just, like, this is a really fantastic premium way to invest in yourself and fashion and the ongoing verse. So thank you very much, Wow Mom. You are extremely talented, and I am grateful for your hat.
Let us speak of the comedy of Goat versus Fish. Let us speak now of the comedy of Goat versus Fish. What is the comedy of Goat versus Fish? And what are some of your experiences with the early comedy of Goat versus Fish that you enjoyed together with Goat versus Fish?
Yes.
The primordial verses of Goat versus Fish
Yes.
that some may be so curious to know.
Well, this does actually go back to Chicago, too, as well. So
Even before that, truly.
Oh, well, okay. I mean,
From a certain point of view, some say Goat versus Fish was an improvisation.
Oh, improv. Oh, my God. That's like a sketch improv. I can't keep everything straight. Okay, yes, indeed. That was one of the sort of the foundational moments of Goat versus Fish kind of finding the way that he was going to bring his version of the verses, like his new modern version of the verses for people to come to. And so, like, Goat versus Fish and I, we, and also several other people, we were sort of in a comedy troupe, as it were, an improv comedy troupe back in high school. And we traveled around various schools doing gigs, and we even beat people on away games, which isn't really supposed to happen when you're doing comedy. But even back then, you know, Goat versus Fish was willing to put himself on the line, put himself out there, and just, you know, get people to tune in, to pay attention. And that's something that I think has served him well in these, frankly, decades since those times went by. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, honestly. And
then things got sketchy.
Yes, and then things got sketchy. So, I mean, personally, you know, I have dabbled in comedy writing. I am a huge fan of, say, Monty Python and sketch writing in general, and just the fun of putting together goofy and absurd sketches. And so later on, when we were living in Chicago, we actually got a theater, rented a theater for a time, and put together a sketch comedy show, and like hired actors and brought them along. And we even went and did a versus of the sketch at the school that Goat versus Fish went to after the school that we went to together. So, I mean, Goat versus Fish, even before he was Goat versus Fish, was still traveling and providing, you know, entertainment in various forms to, you know, it's like...
It was still Goat versus Fish.
It was still Goat versus Fish. It always was, but it took time and experience to find the exact cocktail that sort of has resulted in, you know, the modern, complete picture of Goat versus Fish.
So where does this humor of Goat versus Fish come from? Why is Goat versus Fish funny?
Well, I mean, to me, Goat versus Fish, it's like, I mean, it's an question to me, right? Everything is an interplay of forces, two things balanced against each other. I mean, you can look at the yin-yang or other symbols that indicate this kind of dynamism. But what makes Goat versus Fish funny is that because of that, it's literally like almost a universal joke. You can apply it to anything. And it just like, in such a simple question, you can elaborate as much as you like. It's open. And also, like, putting people in a position where they actually have to actively do something, even make a choice that they don't understand. It just knocks people off balance a little bit. I think it kind of, it does remarkably well as a direct method of philosophical engagement. Direct, like, active philosophy, as opposed to just sitting in an armchair, like getting out there and getting in people's faces, like, you know, you can think about this stuff too, you can philosophize about it too. That's not just for experts. Like, and with simple questions like this, it really does just kind of make it plain, I think. So, I mean, it's funny because it's insightful, and it's like insightful because it's funny. So, I mean, that's kind of one way that I would look at it.
We are now going to Invitation Sunshine to accompany you with a musication as we ask you to elaboration on one more aspect of your very verses. Among your many studies, you have been a student of the spirit of the occult. You have much wisdoms in this verses, of the tarot, of all of these verses that are often, for goat or for fish, associated with Goat versus Fish, and evoke Goat versus Fish. Some see a lot of their own beliefs in Goat versus Fish. Some see Goat versus Fish as a representation of their verses. You have studied these verses as well. We now invitation you, along with musications by Sunshine to help you along, to elaboration on how Goat versus Fish comports with, however you wish to versus it, the spiritual framework of both the inner and outer existence that is here in the universe for all to participation in their own way and in the way that you would convey. We give you De La Rosa, the pen and the rose. We give you the verses.
So the Goat versus Fish question, from a central point of view, from what I'm looking at, it is a question of freedom. It's a question of finding how to exist in the world in a way that actually like makes you a free human being. So there is in our society a very simple idea of like good and evil, good guys, bad guys, good guys, bad guys. You want to be the good guys. You hold the good opinions, the bad guys hold the bad opinions. You do the right things, they do the wrong things. I actually just saw on YouTube, there's the butter battle. Did you ever see the Dr. Seuss like butter battle cartoon where it's Dr. Seuss's send up of like the nuclear arms race? It's two sides. One butters their bread right side up, the other one butters their bread right side down, and they're just like basically always trying to kill each other over it. I mean, it's Dr. Seuss. Also, Ralph Bakshi was involved. It's wacky, but the point is, right? It's a trap. Okay, there is not one evil and one good. Binary thinking is not going to get you out of this mess. It's actually three. So you have to understand that, in fact, and there are hints of this, right? Like the middle way, right? It's not about extremes. So there's like, again, I'm not trying to use this in like a Christian context, but like if you consider evil to be devils, let's say like a devil is a source of evil, well then really you've got a devil on each shoulder. It's not an angel here and a devil here. It's a devil here and a devil here. And where the angel is in the middle, a distance between two extremes. So the essence of Goat versus Fish is actually that Goat versus Fish itself transcends the question of versus altogether. Once you understand that there is a versus, then you also understand that like what is in the middle is actually a projection of two separate things, if that makes any sense at all. And so to understand like what it means to be free is not to swing too hard to the left or too hard to the right to lose your balance, but imagine it like a balance beam where you're holding goat in one arm and fish in the other, right? And those weights even out. And when you have got the equal proportion of one in each arm, now you're free, you're floating, right? But if one's weighing you down, you can never actually get to a position where you're floating. But if you get these things in balance, if you understand that you are dealing with, for example, just cold and hot, right? You don't want things to be too cold, you want them to be too hot. There's a separate concept about lukewarmness, which isn't good, but it's not about that. It's about dynamism. So when you understand that in fact you need to balance between two extremes to find that middle point, that is like the essence of Goat versus Fish. And furthermore, there is some additional symbolism in the goat and fish, because the goat is like a solitary sort of alone figure, known to be stubborn, and fish are known for being, giant schools. They live in groups, right? And so that in itself is kind of the showing of two tendencies: the tendency towards multiplicity, volatility, lack of identity. On the other hand, you have a concentration of ego, of will, right? And so actually, from an occult point of view, these are the principles of quote unquote evil. Again, like it's not really that simple, but so Goat versus Fish is actually, in my mind, a very, very very explicit first class on how you need to understand the world in order to be free of things that would take you going take you to the left, take you to the right, make you to be too egotistical, not enough egotistical, too much self-control, not enough self-control, right? So all of those things together make the message of Goat versus Fish very compelling. And so even for many years, I always thought that it was fascinating that, this thing that seems so arbitrary, right? Goat and fish, like why pick goat, why pick fish? Well, actually, there are extremely good reasons for picking them. I haven't actually sorted them all, but you can list them off if you like. But just again, that tendency towards volatility, multiplicity, concentration, and egotism, those are really the two sides. So the cure for too much goat is more fish. And the cure for too much fish is more goat. There's no other way because there's only goat and fish.
They must verses.
So the trick is to find the exact right balance of verses. So you have the goat and you verse the proper amount of fish, and that's like how you live your best life, to be like glib.
Celebration for glibness. Celebration. This has been a Versus by De La Rosa.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it.
That sounds hella fence, says Local Gromy 417. Well, Local Gromy, you should come to the congregation of Goat versus Fish, and you should deliver a local growing sermonization of your own. You can join the Discord of Goat versus Fish. You can have a conversation. You can leave a commentation. Was the verses of De La Rosa the most enticing wisdom you've ever heard, or was it just a bunch of fencery? A mockery of Goat versus Fish. The ignorance on display in the church of Goat versus Fish.
You'll have to decide.
Here at Goat vs. Fish, we celebration your ignorance, and we welcome your ignorance to be replaced with knowledge of Goat vs. Fish. The knowledge of Goat vs. Fish. Goat and Fish, this has been a special Goat vs. Fish Thursday Temple sermonization with Sunshine and De La Rosa. You can !guest to follow De La Rosa on SoundCloud, where if you could just give a brief verses, what might they expect to find on your very SoundCloud, which is a whole other aspect of the multifaceted De La Rosa that has not even been verses yet. What would they find on your SoundCloud?
So I write glitch hop and adjacent electronica. I do a lot of sampling, and I do like flips of popular songs. So if you like kind of wacky, groovy music, check it out. You'll probably like it.
We now leave Sunshine and De La Rosa to give you some final jams as we ponder the great mystery of Goat versus Fish. Musication is a glorious celebration. Musication is a glorious celebration of Goat versus Fish. You may say, well, we want to hear the verses. We want to talk about Goat versus Fish. Creation of the musication and the celebration is Goat versus Fish. It is just as much Goat versus Fish as any conversation you could have. So enjoy this collaboration, this great collaboration for Goat versus Fish. Truly brings together goat, fish, and even fence sitters from all over the verses to celebration in the congregation of Goat versus Fish. Here is Sunshine and guest musication maker De La Rosa in collaboration together. Celebration for the musication of Goat versus Fish, and for this new Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Don't worry about that versus Goat versus Fish. Yep. And this new view of Goat versus Fish. Celebration for the musication. Musication continues. We wish to thank our glorious patrons of the Church of Goat vs. Fish at patreon.com/GoatVsFish. For $5, $10, or $20 American dollars a month, you too can have your name read by the immaculate Goat vs. Fish at the end of every stream in the extreme. The Humble Congregation, The Quaxinator, Wrench Stallion, Mama Joe Brahma Joe, Standard Average, Hi-Fi Protege, Uber Kitten, Elder Groan, Adam N, Psychic Buckeye 12, Hogrim, Bubbles, and Tugger Rugger. The Elite Humble Congregation, Prism Bloom, Napoleon Doom, That's One Bulk Guy, Watt 9807, Sourdough, Atro, The Dane Wife, Lord Saturn, and the Unification Congregation, Lysergic Fish, and I Can Fix Amber Heard. As is a customary verses in the Church of Goat vs. Fish, as we conclusion this mighty, mighty celebration of Goat vs. Fish Thursday, Goat vs. Fish will now solicit donations from the congregation. A mere 10 bits is enough to show your appreciation. Consider making a not yet tax-free deductible donation, because we are still trying to become a 501c3 nonprofit organization. But until then, please consider making a small contribution to Goat vs. Fish as we conclusion another week of morning motivation. Celebration, celebration, celebration. Open your hearts, open your minds, and open your treasures to Goat vs. Fish. Celebration, celebration, celebration. Fire Pirate with 100 bits who says, good morning, Goat, good morning, Fence, good morning, Fish, celebration, 100 bits. Can we get 100 bits worth of celebration? And now, as we part our separate verses after a week of morning motivationals, we think that Goat vs. Fish and De La Rosa, and maybe even Sunshine, will enjoy a very big bowl. Celebration! Celebration, 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 celebration. We have our patrons. We have said salutation to our patrons. That is the verses. That is the verses, Goat and Fish. That is the verses. If you have any final questions for De La Rosa, for Sunshine, and for Goat vs. Fish, you have several minuets now to make your final conversations. But that has been the service of Goat vs. Fish. That has been the service of Goat vs. Fish. As we await any final remarks or any final donations or contributions, you may take the verses or say whatever you wish to the congregation for any final verses, promotions, discussions, contributions that you wish. Thank you for your attendance to the services of Goat vs. Fish.
There is no sunshine time this weekend, unfortunately. But next weekend, there'll be sunshine time. Celebration.
Hi-Fi Protege asks, what was the question we didn't ask De La Rosa? I think I missed it.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to know that.
They missed the question that they didn't ask. So what was that question that...
How would I know the question that they didn't ask if they didn't ask it? They put it on the screen, but I didn't see it? Is that what it is saying?
You're starting to learn the ways of Hi-Fi Protege. This is a classic Hi-Fi Protege conundrum.
There is no answer.
What was the question we didn't ask De La Rosa? I missed it.
Yeah, who is the person that didn't attend?
Can you miss the question that wasn't asked? If it wasn't asked, how could you have missed it?
If it goes without asking, then surely it answers without answering. So I already answered it. If it went without asking, then I answered without telling.
Oh, local 417 Gromy says, great to see you all. I had a broken PC for a month. Well, welcome back,
Yes,
local
wow.
Gromy. Welcome back
That must
to Goat
feel
vs.
nice.
Fish. Welcome back to Goat vs.
Goat
Fish.
Fish said earlier that you knew to ask.
Speaking of new computations, Sunshine, do you wish to reveal a special verse announcement about what might be forthcoming on your on upcoming verses?
I got a new PC.
What?
And
You've embraced PC culture?
oh yeah, I've embraced PC ever since I dual booted PC on my Steam Deck. I've semi embraced PC culture. It's my first PC since 2007, so
Wow.
I'm pretty excited about it.
That's epic.
Yeah, it's nice to come back to PC. It's a modest rig. I think 5070 Ti. I forget. My aerospace cousin helped me with the specs. He found me a pre-built one on Fence Amazon. And
That's where we are now. We're on Twitch.
Oh yes.
You see, I sold my soul to the company verse, earned 100 bits on Twitch today. Tomorrow to Amazon I'm gonna pay. Gotta get my delivery in 23 hours. I gave my bits to the company fence. Are you goat or are you a fish?
I'll return it.
Those boxes are full of magic. Oh no! Is Amazon selling magic these days?
They don't even give candy in their boxes.
I mean, PCs run on Magic Dragon Blood, right? Am I wrong about that? Is that not the case?
Yeah, Mac runs on Baby Tears and PC runs on Dragon Blood. So ever since switching to PC, I feel optimistic about the future of
PCs do that.
of having Windows 11 updates on a daily basis, even when I don't ask for them.
I still have Windows 10. I'm holding out forever.
Oh, ooh!
I'm a Mac. I'm a PC. That was a very Goat versus Fish ad campaign.
It was actually.
But
which was which though?
Which was Goat, which was Fish?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of think Mac is Fish in that scenario, but
Mac Fish.
Maybe I'm just biased. Like, I mean, I don't have any particular ill will against Apple. If they're Fish, like, I'm all right with that. I'm not going to say, like, don't be Fish.
I like how
It's up to them.
everything I do on my MacBook ends up on my iPhone and vice versa.
Yeah, the Dragon Blood. No, I know. I had a problem with my Dragon Blood port on my computer. It wasn't working for a while.
But I'm more for
In this economy.
in this economy, Linux.
Linux.
Linux is where the magic is, despite the lack of support compared to fence Windows.
Yes.
But as you were saying,
Yeah, I hear that a combination of like pixie dust and a few other things can kind of substitute, but there's really nothing for the OG. When you really want that processing power, man, that ancient dragon blood is the way to go.
Celebration for Jeremy the
Zest guys.
Oh, STS guys.
Oh, the STS
Oh, my
guys.
verses. Goat vs. Fish was on the STS guys podcast many verses ago. It was on, and so this must be of the STS guys. Hey, look, STS guys, look what Goat vs. Fish has done.
Yeah.
In the intervening years since our last conversation, we have a church of Goat vs. Fish.
temple.
It's the temple of the church of Goat vs. Fish. Nice to versus you again, Jeremy. Are you goat or are you fish? If you wish to follow Sunshine, follow Music by Sunshine on Instagram, or It's Sunshine on
Follow
Twitch.
me.
And of course, you can !guest in the Twitch chat to find Della Rosa's Glitch Hop.
Yes. You might like that.
Sunshine, would you, as we end the stream, do us the honor of playing the classic Goat vs. Fish temple theme on the keys? Did we see no more fitting way to end the verses than with the classic, and allow De La Rosa to be your student in this verses as you regale them with the Goat vs. Fish, the unofficially official Goat vs. Fish temple musication. Celebration. Oh, wait, we've only been streaming for 1 hour and 55 minutes and 38 seconds, and we always promise them 2 hours. How about, does anyone want some inebriation, a nice cold one on Goat vs. Fish? What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Goat and Fish, informal temple minutes. A few informal temple minutes now. We've given you the services. And now, for the promised 2 hours, some informal temple inebriations and celebrations.
The after party.
Yeah. Welcome to the after party.
It's very much like everything before.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get up on a microphone and, tell them
Right.
verses.
Verses. Many very verses. Let's see. What is it? I need a verse. What verses happened to me recently? Well, I come from a land called Oregon, and we do roundabouts in Oregon. We love us some roundabouts. It's quite a trip coming back to LA and everything just being like lights everywhere, red lights, green lights. I think in Bend we have like 80 roundabouts, and like, I don't know, that one please. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Celebration. Here's the goat versus fish.
Cheers. Goat versus fish.
Celebration.
So yeah, so roundabouts are great.
And here's to the congregation. To the congregation.
to the congregation.
To the congregation.
Can we drink on stream? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, you can do anything on stream.
Yeah.
But the other stuff we do outside.
Yes.
Yes, they have not yet banned inebriation. What you can't do is say, I'm going to consume more inebriation in exchange for monetization. That you cannot do.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, well.
But you can suggest it.
Good to know for the future. I won't be demanding.
So in a roundabout way, what were you saying about roundabouts?
Oh, right. So roundabouts are great. You see, the problem with lights is it's just purely mechanical. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know, what's good? A minute for this light, a minute for that light. It just is what it is. Now, roundabout actually uses like human cognition to like greatly speed up the process of going through an intersection. But the problem is it requires you to actually pay attention to what you're doing and like actively take steps to slow down or speed up, which is obviously like too much of an ask for some people. But the point is, if you have an intersection that actually uses people's minds and doesn't ignore them, you end up with a much more efficient structure. Like, ever since they replaced my main drive with my kids to school, it's like, you know, in the old days, there were a couple of intersections. It would take like 12 minutes. It's down to like 7 minutes just because I never actually have to stop. Half the time, you just roll through that thing. You don't even stop. Literally, you would have been stuck stopping for like a minute. But you're just like, boop, you're done. It's over. Roundabouts are great. I'm just saying. In Oregon, we love us some roundabouts.
So you have kids, you just said.
Yes, I have kids.
You have kids. Is goat versus fish suitable for kids?
I mean, mostly. I mean, in essence, yes. There's absolutely nothing not suitable about it.
Are your kids ready for the one true question?
That's a good question.
Are they ready for the one true question?
I mean, that is very interesting. I've actually never asked them, but I feel like you should probably ask them because you'll have a chance.
Goat versus fish could certainly do them the verses of asking if that is what you wish, but it is certainly within your power to ask the one true question.
I'm surprised they haven't asked it of themselves yet.
You could ask closely related questions like,
Yeah.
what do you think about goat? What do you think about fish? Do you like goat more than fish? You could ask.
Ezra the Scribe is a G. They like roundabouts.
Celebration.
Your kids don't really have to pay attention. They can just kind of absorb it, you know, just kind of be in the milieu, you know. I mean,
For your first message, welcome to your love of roundabouts. Welcome to your love of the Church of Goat versus Fish. Please follow the Church of Goat versus Fish. There's no other verses like this.
No, I mean, if I had to guess, you know, and please forgive me, but I think my older daughter is fish and my younger daughter is goat. I think that's just, I mean, like, okay. I mean, Ophelia is a Virgo like you, so.
Oh, the V of the verses?
Yeah. Well, I just mean she strikes me as very goat-like. She's very stubborn. She has her ways, and she's perfectly willing to go off by herself if she's like upset with people. So she has these goatish tendencies, but I could be totally wrong, you know. And people change, you know. You grow up, you mature, your metabolism changes. You know,
you die horribly before you're ready to pass on to the next verses. This is all very goat versus fish.
You start growing hair, and you're forced to admit that you're more of a goat, it seems, than you thought. But you know, it's on the inside. That's what counts.
Welcome, Ezra, who says my kids are not paying attention. They might be paying more attention than you suspect.
I mean, kids absorb everything. That's kind of what I'm saying. But okay, so the thing about the roundabouts, though. Okay, so I live in Bend, right? And in Bend, we don't do like street plowing during the
Ezra,
winter.
are you goat or are you fish?
Right through the middle. You know, the thing is they put like art installations in the middle of these roundabouts. So as much as you'd like to gun it straight through the middle, you'll probably destroy some, you know, moderately priceless artifact in the means. But no, see, the thing about roundabouts, though.
Fatality fish, celebration for fish, and celebration for your wife, Ezra. Is your wife goat or fish?
The thing about roundabouts during the winter, though, is that they get icy. And an icy roundabout, you have to drive so incredibly slowly that in that case, you probably would be better off with an intersection because, like, people slipping and sliding all over the place.
Celebration for GOAT! Celebration for GOAT! We're just carrying on multiple conversations to the same verses. We're just passing the verses around.
Pick one. You know, you can pick and choose. Surely one of them will interest you.
You have to give them a lot of verses on the streams of GoatVsFish. They say, well, do I want to watch this stream or do I want to watch that stream? So we get audience interaction. Are you goat or are you fish? We get pontification on some random subject like roundabouts. You get musication in this verses. You have to give them all the verses all at once. Just give them everything. Give them all the GoatVsFish.
Yeah. So I think what would be really cool on the roundabout is if you could exactly like drift your truck around the roundabout, like exactly like hit it at an angle. But they have these sort of on-ramp sections that kind of discourage you from drifting directly into the roundabout. But yes, it's a place where like four-wheel drive is actually handy to have because they don't plow the roads and sometimes you have to go over the snow. But icy roundabouts are actually not very much fun at all.
You played an indie game, and there's a character called GoatFish. Celebration. Celebration. Right. That sounds like great game design.
Yes. I mean, that's, truly. Yeah, I mean, you know.
You think they're a fan of yours? GoatVsFish does hope for a future in which fans of GoatVsFish are making creations of their own, and you start seeing totally random and obscure references to GoatVsFish in strange games all over the verses.
I mean, you know, it's in progress. It's happening. Subtle at first.
Well, my verses, GoatVsFish has a verses, as we are here in the bonus musication time.
Round.
Wow, everyone seems to have loosened up since we entered the bonus musications and are just very happy to make conversation. Very happy to make conversation. GoatVsFish, GoatVsFish.
Truck drifting, yeah.
Because this verses, we were versing about Los Angeles, and we saw a sign.
It's like I don't like. So I used to live in like California. I moved out to Bend. And like, I mean, look, you know, I have a little bit of redneck in me, I guess. I don't know, but I really wanted to get a truck since I moved there. So I don't know, maybe I will. It's so freaking luxurious, man. It's like driving first class everywhere you go. There's so much bloody room in those things.
We saw a verses on a bench, not unlike a fence.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love piano. And this like, just so you know, this keyboard is like tops, dude. This thing is an insane instrument.
It is a great keyboard.
Yes. Yeah. It's tops Bluebee.
Oh, yes. You spoke it. Yes, we were asking for confirmation from you about this particular royal mustard.
Oh.
That it has your affirmations, Sunshine. Yes.
Oh, yeah. It is a great keyboard. I had this keyboard. And this is the Privia PX S7000. And it has the wooden keys. It feels like an actual piano. And it has a great feel, a great touch. I had a Todd Kronos. I prefer the sound of the Todd Kronos, but the keys don't feel like these keys. Mm-hmm. And for me, I can compromise the sound a little bit for the feel of the keys. And also there's MIDI out, so you can always like get a bit of...
Right, you put a different keyboard to control the if you wanted to,
I just put it through Keyscape, and it sounds fantastic. And
yeah.
Hello, GoatVsFish, to show you this verses we saw. You remember this, yes?
Yes, just the other day, yeah.
We were driving about Los Angeles, and we saw... We're going to get mobile with GoatVsFish. We saw there's verses. Look at this, Sunshine. Look at this. Look what we witnessed in Los Angeles, just this verses.
Goat Global. In Goat we trust. Ooh, sounds goat. Sounds goatish. As
if opposed you like,
to...
sounds very like goat supremacy.
Vitality, if you like my piano music, you probably would like some of my music on my account. I do a lot of like breakout, like piano soloing stuff. I mean, I basically play everything myself. So like the vibe should come through on my music most of the time. It's pretty fast in electronica, but you might like it. Check it out, I'd say.
GoatVsFish versus GoatVsFish.
I was talking about Sunshine, who's also excellent on the piano. I'm not actually sure which bro you're talking about, but either way, awesome.
So here's a verses for Goat Global. Goat Global, 30% off first visit, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Goat Global Westwood, In Goat we trust.
If you type !guest, it'll give you a link to my SoundCloud, just FYI.
Oh yes, exclamation guest on Twitch. Global supremacy
Twitch.
of Goat.
Not on YouTube, which is feature poor.
We should invite Goat Global onto the stream to tell us about how they want to dominate the universe as Goat.
Goat Global. I mean, what could it be? Really? It's global, dude. It's global. It's not local. It's not regional. It's fucking global.
Do we mind if we take a serious versus here? Now that we are Goat versus Fish, there's a respect that must be paid here in the Temple of Goat versus Fish.
Okay.
Here in Goat versus Fish, and here at the Temple of Goat versus Fish, we do not shy away. We're returning to the services mindset here. We do not shy away from dealing with the existential angst of existence and confronting even the most sad verses that are part of life indeed. Goat versus Fish has and will continue to think that in this sacred space, it is a place for glorious remembrances. Goat versus Fish has spoken of Ronald the Climbing Goat. Ronald the Climbing Goat, who died in the frozen sea of the fish that fell upon it. We know that De La Rosa knew this climbing goat well, and if you are feeling verses about it, here in the Church of Goat versus Fish, we would invitation you to evoke a remembrance of Ronald the Goat in this space. What do you say?
I can do that. So I have known Ronald the Climbing Goat for even longer than I've known Goat versus Fish. I knew him since I was about 7 years old, and I knew him best when we were kids. Later on, I didn't have as much of a chance to be with him. It's kind of interesting. Kind of Mike took over. Anyway, so I just remember, going to his house and his mom giving me just arms of Japanese snacks and going upstairs and watching Doraemon with him, and he would just translate everything for me. He's half Japanese, and I was just, we'd watch Monty Python skits. I remember watching the Deja Vu skit and just laughing like over and over and over at it, unironically. He was always a man with an interesting fact or nominal insight or an interesting song. He was just somebody who was always finding something fascinating in the world, and I just think that was just something that was kind of infectious about him. He had an enthusiasm, a drive, and it was subtle, but it was there. And I mean, it kind of drove him all the way through his whole life to that point. But yeah, it's just Ron is somebody for me who has had such a profound shifting effect on the direction of my life. It's impossible for me to understand what it would have been like without him there. Like, I never would have gone to Japan. I never would have done a million other Japanese related things without him. And so, like, it's just a weird thing to think, how meaningful he was to my life, and how weird it is that he's not here anymore. But in times like this, where I really can clearly think about him and the effects he's had on me and the way that he's shaped my life, it's kind of like he's just with me all the time. So, that's a comfort in its way. But yeah, Ron, I miss you terribly. But we will meet again. Celebration
for Ronald the Goat. What do you suppose Ronald the Goat would think about this whole verses of Goat versus Fish, this whole church of Goat versus Fish?
I have no doubt that he would absolutely be thrilled about it in every conceivable fashion.
Celebration, appreciation for this remembrance of Ronald the Goat. Appreciation. And let us continue now with the celebration. Celebration for Ronald the Goat.
Yes, celebration, yes. A life indeed well lived at maximum speed.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration. And as is known that the compact Oxford English dictionary that we used to study here in Goat vs. Fish was bequeathed to us from the very Ronald Goat.
Yes, it's one of the artifacts. He's left a goodly number behind, fortunately for us.
Goat versus fish. This has been your bonus verses of Goat versus Fish. This has been your bonus verses. Fatality, celebration, Rain Felicia, appreciations for your rest in verses to Ronald Indeed.
Yes,
Many years ago it was.
Appreciate
Fatality.
it. Yes.
Wow, Mom.
It was an epic death for what it was worth. It was very
True
epic.
verses.
Yeah.
Climbing the most remote, truly the most remote mountains of the verses.
Yeah. It was epic, very epic.
Climbing mountains yet unclimbed, truly.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Untamed peaks.
Truly so. Now, UK Super 5-star, UK Superstar has entered the congregation in the chat many verses and has always said, hope you're having a good one so far. And then they don't say anything else. They don't answer the one true question. They just say this verses over and over again to Goat versus Fish, and we have never achieved communication.
Interesting.
And we have been pondering whether or not to restrict or to ban this otherwise harmless interaction with Goat versus Fish. However, we were giving a pay-on to Ronald the Goat, a very serious verses, and without any recognition of what was even happening on Goat versus Fish, they just leave this verses here for us to endure.
Do you think it's
it kind of rubs us a bit fancy.
Could it be like a robot?
We highly suspect it's just a fence bot that's there to make you go, UK Super, you're a streamer too, let's have a look at that versus.
It's a robotman. It's not a real G.
Fire Pirate with 53 bits celebration.
Woohoo! Celebration for 50 bits.
53
bits. Jesus God. That's so what? A bit is half of a quarter, right? If my shaving a haircut is 2 bits, right? And that's 25 cents. So.
Goat versus Fish.
No,
would be if only a bit were
12 cents.
We're 12 and a half cents.
Yeah.
What a versus it would be.
Yeah.
What a versus it would be. The penny has been banned, but bits remain.
Right. Ironic.
Appreciation, Fire Pirate, for your second contribution to the Temple of Goat versus Fish.
Much.
This has been a Goat versus Fish sermonization. This has been a special, unexpected guest stream of Goat versus Fish. Play us out, sunshine, and we'll see you all on the next verses. We will end the YouTube stream, and then we will conduct a Twitch radiation celebration!
Happy Thursday verse day. Thursday verse day.
Appreciation for the applause and the radiation sound effect. We were like, why does it sound so strange to Goat versus Fish? It was playing through the speakers of Goat versus Fish and was not directly into the stream of Goat versus Fish. So appreciation for the applause, the 100 bits of applause from the Fire Pirate. 100 bits of applause from the Fire Pirate. Glorious verses. Fire Pirate, number one. Or number one, Fire Pirate. Let's go have a look. Is the Fire Pirate the Fire Pirate? Oh, Nebraska Joe Dirt, Cody, that one bull guy. Truly Nephew Network Association Fire Pirate. Fire Pirate, why don't you consider recommending Goat versus Fish as one of your recommended verses? We so love to have you here in Goat versus Fish. Exclamation S for the social media of Goat vs. Fish. Follow the Church of Goat vs. Fish. Exclamation Church. Follow the Church of Goat vs. Fish on all social media. The Fence Spots just posted the Instagram of Goat vs. Fish. Fire Pirate, a mighty beard indeed, a mighty beard indeed. And it was written. And it was written. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You have a nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Celebration.
Celebration.